question, and I truly don't know of any world religion or philosophy which does. But what I can say to you this morning is, I know someone who can help us face this world, which is in such a mess. I know someone who can give us strength for our journey, and light for our darkness, and hope beyond the struggles of today. I know someone who will walk with us through the very shadow of the valley of death. I know someone who has walked through that valley and who has come out on the other side victorious. You see, in the world today, what we know is not nearly as important as who we know. As the hymn says, I know a risen Savior. He is in the world today. I know that he's living, whatever men may say, for I see his hand of mercy, and I feel his loving care, and just the time I need him, he's always near. I got thinking about, how did I come to know the risen Jesus? How was Jesus introduced to me? I got to know many things about him in books I read, classes I took. But how I came to know him was really through the people I sat alongside or across the table from. I got to know Jesus, the risen Jesus, in my mom, who woke me up every morning with breakfast ready before going to school, and who taught me my first church solo, my favorite things from Sound of Music. I got to know him through my dad who was really not a church man, but my dad who worked so hard, and he ensured that every summer we would go on a family vacation, and who was home every night to be at the dinner table, and who often later in his life, when Jean and I would go visit, he'd always get up early and would cook me breakfast before anybody else got up. I got to know the risen Christ in my grandmother, who played games with me like Yahtzee and croquet, and she never missed a performance of any kind I was ever in. And she loved to cook me my favorite foods. And I got to know him in Sunday school teachers and choir directors. And when I became a pastor and faithful church folks who showed me how to do ministry with someone dying of cancer or grieving the loss of a lifetime partner. I got to know him when I met Jean, and I found a partner who loves to share her love for others through food. And I knew that when she said, for better or worse, rich or poor, in sickness and in health, she meant it. I got to know him through stepsons who made me their dad without ever questioning whether I deserved to be their dad or not. And I got to know him through a granddaughter who named me Diego when she was 2 years old and still calls me that today. I got to know the risen Christ through the many people I've met along the journey of being a pastor and a counselor and a community organizer. I've gotten to know the risen Christ through so many of you who have come through these doors at South Main to share your lives for an hour, or a day, or a week, or a month, or for all of almost these 6 years. Yeah. It's not what we know that matters so much. It's really all about who we know. To close the message today, I've asked Dee Dee if she would reprise a song she sang here just a few weeks ago, the first part of February. And I'll let her say if she would like a little word about the song, the words, but it really encapsulates what I think the focus of the message today is. It's our relationships. That in the end, it's our relationships that truly matter.